Jackson Science Cells Unit Test. Question 1. A student reported that a wilted stalk of celery became crisp when placed in a container of ice water. The student's statement was based on a deduction, a hypothesis, a conclusion, an observation. Question 2. Both the cell membrane and the cell wall act to protect the organelles within a cell. Which of the following best describes how the cell membrane is different from the cell wall? The cell membrane is a single layered membrane while the cell wall is doubled. The cell membrane controls what crosses into the cell while the cell wall maintains the cell shape. The cell membrane is only found in plant cells while the cell wall is found in plant and animal cells. The cell membrane is tough cellulose while the cell wall is a flexible material. Question 3. If you do not understand a direction or part of a lab procedure, you should figure it out as you do the lab, try several methods until something works, ask your teacher before continuing, or skip it and go to the next part. Question 4. Which organelle found in plant and animal cells can store water and waste material? Vacuole, nucleus, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum. Which one is used for storage? Question 5. Animal and plant cells have all the following except chloroplasts to carry out photosynthesis, vacuoles to store water and nutrients, mitochondria to form chemical energy, a nucleus with DNA to replicate cells. Question 6. Which organelle requires light in order to perform its function? A centriole, because it performs cell division that is encouraged by light. A Golgi apparatus, because it packages proteins by light-triggered reactions. A mitochondrion, because it performs respiration with its light-absorbing membrane. A chloroplast, because it performs photosynthesis with its light-absorbing pigments. Question 7. The cell wall is a structure found in plant cells because it provides cell strength, being made up of a complex carbohydrate cellulose. Animal cells because it stores the genetic code read by neighboring cells and is made of DNA. Plant and animal cells because it controls what passes through these cell types. Plant and animal cells because it is the structure that controls organelle movement. Question 8. Which organelle is found in plant and animal cells and is involved in making cellular energy? Question 9. The vacuoles in plant cells are different from the vacuoles in animal cells because plant cell vacuoles store only water, they hold different types of nutrients, they are membrane bound. Plant cell vacuoles are larger. The model below shows a type of cell. Use the model to answer questions 10 through 13. Question 10. Organelle X is a mitochondrion, which makes energy, ribosome, which carries proteins, lysosome, which helps digest substances inside, centriole, which helps divide the cell in two. Question 11. What is structure V and what is its function? It is the Golgi apparatus and it sends signals to other cell messages. It is the cell membrane, and it helps control what enters and exits the cell. It is chromatin, and it contains loose DNA and genes. It is cytoplasm, and it helps maintain the cell's shape and integrity. Question 12. The function of U is to make fat molecules for the cell, hold the instructions for the cell in the form of DNA, store water and excess proteins, break down toxins and waste that will exit the cell. Question 13. What type of cell is shown in this model? An animal cell, because it does not have a cell wall or chloroplast. An animal cell, because it has a cell membrane and cytoplasm. A plant cell, because it has mitochondria and is round in shape. A plant cell, because it has vacuoles and a Golgi apparatus. Question 14. According to the cell theory, a virus cannot be defined as an organism. This is because a virus cannot replicate itself, meaning repeat itself, is not made of cells, is too small to see with a microscope, does not contain DNA. Question 15. Many scientists' observations brought about the principles of a cell theory. One of the principles of the cell theory is that cells are only found in prokaryotic organisms, contain organelles, are only found in multicellular organisms, are the basic unit of life. Question 16. Unlike non-living things, all living things are made of water, atoms, cells, or energy. Question 17. The top layer of cells on a plant leaf would be classified as an organism system, a tissue, a cell, an organ. Question 18. In 1665, Robert Hooke used a compound microscope to observe the natural world by looking at a thin slice of cork. The diagram below shows what he saw. Based on the cell theory, what can be concluded from what Robert Hooke saw? A. Plants contain a unique mesh of fiber in their tissues. B. Living organisms are composed of one large mass. C. Living organisms are made of tiny individual units. Or D. Plants contain cellulose in their cell walls. Question 19. The picture below shows a scanning electron micrograph of Escherichia coli, a type of bacteria that is dividing or splitting in two. What part of the cell theory is displayed by this micrograph? A. Cells are only found as oval or round in shape. B. All cells come from a pre-existing cell. C. Only unicellular organisms are composed of cells. D. All cells are microscopic in size. Question 20. The picture below shows a grasshopper. The compound I on the grasshopper is best described as A. A cell, the level of organization directly below tissue. An organ, the level of organization directly above tissue. C. A tissue, the level of organization directly below organ system. Or D. An organ system, the level of organization directly above a cell. Question 21. The picture below shows an object found in nature. Which level of organization is best represented by the object in the picture? Is it a cell, tissue, organism, organ? Question 22. Horseplay or practical jokes in the laboratory are always against the rules, okay, not dangerous, okay if you are working alone. The picture below shows layer of skin with object R marked on the surface layer. The level of organization best represented by R is an organ, a tissue, a cell, an organ system. What does R show? Question 24. A student records his body temperature every day at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. for 30 days. He notices a trend in this data and offers an explanation. His explanation is an example of raw data, a hypothesis, a limitation, an observation. Question 25. The picture below shows the skeleton of a snake. Which level of organization is represented by the skeleton of the snake? Is the skeleton a tissue, an organ system, an organism? This is the end of the test.